No final de 2016, eu estava tão sufocado pela vida na cidade grande que eu só pensava em passar um tempo imerso na natureza, em busca de simplicidade e reconexão. Dando um Google, eu descobri um programa chamado UFIM e fiquei a fim de pesquisar mais a fundo essa nova economia colaborativa. Eu fui então para o Havaí, onde morei por 4 meses numa comunidade com 15 pessoas, comendo o que plantava e nadando com os golfinhos quase todos os dias. Mas essa história não é sobre mim, e sim sobre as pessoas que encontrei por lá e o que aprendi com elas.
My name is Barbara. I'm 72 years old. I was originally born in Southern California. What brought me to Hawaii was a psychedelic king who wanted to score a chick, and I was the chick. So I came, and I don't really believe that at that time I had a clue of who I was or what my purpose was. I had a near-death experience in my first Saturn return that made me realize that I could have died and not known who I was. So when I was about 30, I started searching for that identity. And I think during that time is when I started getting the picture of what my mission, my purpose on the planet is. And I felt that the Dragonfly Ranch, my home, would be a place of healing and growth.
O Dragonfly Ranch é um Healing Arts Center, uma espécie de retiro espiritual, comunidade colaborativa, plantação de agrofloresta e permacultura, onde você pode voluntariar, trocando o seu trabalho por moradia, comida e aprendizado, bem nos moldes da sociedade de troca. Além disso, o Dragonfly abriga eventos de yoga, meditação, workshops de música, massagem e nutrição vegana. Mas, ao mesmo tempo, o principal intuito do Dragonfly é reconectar as pessoas com a natureza.
My name is Logan Greenbank. I am 24 years old and I am from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island in Canada. My passion was travel and I wanted to go through volunteer organizations to find these communities and just learn more about the world that I live in. So I felt like Hawaii was calling me. Everything around me just said Hawaii. It was very unexpected, very last minute when I finally bought the plane ticket here. I used Workaway to find Dragonfly Ranch here in Hawaii, and I'm so glad I did because it was exactly what I was looking for, having a community in a jungle region, sort of discover who I am.
I feel that when people are given the opportunity to get in touch with their inner nature by being surrounded by the outer nature, the beauty of nature, that they can really find out who they are and what their reason for being is. I had a little cancer scare myself. My mother had hers and I had mine. We both looked at it as a way to heal ourselves naturally.
I do believe Hawaii is a healing place because it's completely changed everything I've thought about life. For me, I need to spend time alone in nature. It's not even an option. It's almost just to recharge, taking that time, especially sitting by the ocean, just hearing the waves crash upon the shore and being able to take deep breaths as you're there. It can really take you from a state of negativity and of overthinking and of depression, honestly, to a state where you can really feel connected to what's around you. You can feel happiness and joy. So I feel like nature has sort of taken me from a place of confusion and discomfort to a place where I can really feel comfortable.
So we have a lot to learn from Hawaiians. I'm very grateful to be here and to have Hawaiian friends teach me about being close to nature and respecting nature, giving to the garden before receiving from the garden, and taking care of our aina, the land. Thinking more and more that I have less and less desire to go to the big city.
My name is Sophia Rose, and I am here in Kauai, Hawaii. We are one of the beings on Earth that actually has been the most disconnected from Earth. Out of all, you know, a lot of the belief system is that we are superior to the Earth, and we have lost connection to seeing her as a living organism. In not connecting to her, we have become separated from her, and that is what creates that place that we feel, you know, lost or alone or depressed. What guides us to this awakening is usually illness, pain. Whether it's emotional pain, physical pain, disease, it begins to awaken us to say, this doesn't feel right to me. You know, we become more sensitive. We begin to feel more. We begin to open our hearts. And everything that's been repressed, suppressed, and oppressed then begins to open. And then all of a sudden, the sleepiness that we were in, the apathy, and the robotic motions that we're living our lives in, you know, just plugged into coming home and getting on Facebook, we cannot do this anymore. We cannot be in the dark anymore. It's too uncomfortable.
Eu fui criado na natureza, mas no meio da minha adolescência eu mudei para a cidade. Então, para mim é um retorno às minhas origens, de onde eu vim. Me conectar com a terra de novo é fechar um ciclo. Eu nunca imaginei que eu fosse me sentir tão confortável na natureza de novo.
I've grown as a person here, and like I'm looking for something deeper than partying and whatnot, honestly. And I think when I go back home to Tennessee, that will definitely show. My name is Spencer Dean. I'm from a suburban town about 45 minutes south of Nashville, Tennessee. It's called Spring Hill. Not much is going on. This is my girlfriend, Grace Shaki.
Hey. I'm Grace. I'm 19 years old. My most recent job, I worked as a caregiver for the elderly.
High school, and I graduated this past May.
We met at a football game. My friend introduced us. I just wanted a change of pace, and I wanted to travel, and I came here.
It was almost too big of a sudden change for us. Like,
yeah.
Coming straight out of mommy and daddy's house to living in a small room in the middle of the jungle. I know, when it's not so stuffy, it's actually kind of big.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It is.
being away from my wife is particularly difficult. While I'm still able to communicate with her over phone and Skype and whatever, it's still different when she's so far away, not having that physical connection. My name is Evan Shire, and I'm 33, and I'm from Oyster Bay Cove, New York, which is on Long Island. I was a professional singer and an actor, performer. The biggest challenge, I think, is trusting myself, trusting that I'm enough on my own. So my wife and I are polyamorous. We have other partners, and being able to connect with other people, but also the continuing connection that we have. The fact that if I do happen to meet someone along the road that I feel a very powerful connection to, that I feel a little bit more freedom and at least the ability to explore my situation and my experience maybe a little bit deeper if I choose to.
Honestly, I'm dreading going back. I feel like I'm home here, like I'm home. My name is Carolyn, and I'm from Montreal, Canada. I'm here to write a thesis, but at the same time, I'm work trading. The team is always changing, so it's like a continuous flow of new faces. Overall, it's a lot of people like me, people who are on in my opinion, they're on a healing journey, most of them. Healing journey, like a spiritual path of rediscovering themselves and trying to create a new life for themselves.
And are you doing that too?
Yes.
And we came here in the first 2 weeks, we were having major problems. Now our relationship is stronger than ever. We heard that if you're in a relationship and you come here, Pele will supposedly test you to see if you're supposed to be together.
Pele is the goddess of the volcano on the Big Island where we are, and she rules over passion, and sometimes she can be a bit angry and, you know, she lashes out, but a lot of times she's really just giving and loving.
There is the night market called Uncle Robert's, and I was told the story of Uncle Robert's was that the volcano was going to erupt. And so everybody was in that area was told to evacuate. And Uncle Roberts, him and his wife, were cleaning the house, and they were told, okay, you have to leave. And they said, we can't leave the house in a mess. When Pele shows up, she can't see the house in a mess. So we really want to make everything clean for her, and so she can see something good. So they did that, and then they left. The lava flowed, and when it was time to come back, everything was, you know, destroyed, but the lava went right around their house. For whatever reason, decided, well, we're going to spare this house. Thank you for, you know, setting it up so beautifully for me to come and see it.
Before Pele was to leave, she gave her greatest demonstration of power. Kapoho soon turned into a ghost town with only charred embers of its buildings remaining.
Being at the volcano is a pretty intense experience. Because of the lava flow, the continuous lava flow, it just always feels like the energy is being renewed and replenished, and it's like it fills you up. It's very intense. It's just being in front of the lava, there's nothing else happening.
I've never seen anything even close to that, you know? When you think of volcanoes, you think of the movies where they're spitting out of the top, but when you actually get to see it, it's just amazing. And
most powerful place that I've been to, Mauna Kea, easily, the observatory. It made me feel more connected to everything in existence, just because of the grandiosity of it all.
That was unreal. That looked like a background to a desktop or something. It's just, it brings you closer to people in a different way, I feel like. And doing that and experiencing the volcano in Mauna Kea and swimming with dolphins, that's stuff you'll never ever forget about, ever. And you'll never forget the people that you were doing it with or anything. So I love that, most definitely. it's a different type of connection, I feel like, because, you know, we're all on the same path. We're all here doing this together. We're all looking for something, and that's what we're trying to find it, you know?
And we walk all the way down to the ocean.
Yeah, let's go.
So I just had my first experience swimming with the dolphins, and they got closer and more of them just showed up and my heart started skipping beats. I could compare it to when you fall in love and you have the butterflies and your heart is just... And I was thinking, I was so in awe and I was so absorbed by the moment. I had to remind myself to breathe. I was just, speechless almost. Yeah.
I think people are just looking for ways to reconnect. So I don't think that nature is calling to us. I think we're calling to nature to show us the way.
Thank you, Evan.
I gave you a nice quote to finish on.
Do you know the feeling, have you ever had the feeling before that you're somehow not completely here or somehow just functioning like a machine? Yeah, those are typical examples of when parts of your soul have left you. And, or, you know, you're in a situation and you can't react until sometimes even a day or two later. You're like, what was that all about? And then a day or two later you feel it. But when your soul is complete, you can feel it right there, then and now, because you're present, you're here.
So
does that make sense?
Absolutely,
all
yes,
right.
It does.
Hawaii is a wonderful way to, the energy here and the nature here. Here is one of the points on the Earth of a tetrahedron tip. And the tips of these points, when you put them inside orbs, inside planets, are areas where there's very high physical occurrences. And quantum physics says that these tips of the tetrahedra are also wormholes. These are also areas which very strongly are open and connected with other dimensions.
What shamanism is for me is being able to walk in many different dimensions and worlds while being in this world, and sourcing and anchoring this multidimensional energy into this reality. I feel more than anything, shamanism, it is not about a power over, power under dynamic. It's about actually becoming harmonious with nature and becoming connected so deeply to the Mother Earth that we listen.
For example, in Hawaiian shamanism, in Huna, it is taught that the day starts when you go to bed in the evening. That's why they do ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono, this is basically forgiveness. It's speaking from your gut, your manao, saying your manao, being honest, being direct, and looking at a person in the eyes, and really being honest, and listening to the other person. So listening and speaking the truth, this heals.
So what's happening right now is there's a surge of medicinal plants that are coming into our consciousness. They are calling us, so to speak. So you have the medicine of the grandmother, you have the ayahuasca, you have the peyote, you have blue lotus, you have cacao, you have many of these ancient teachers that are coming back, and their whole role is actually to create. People are being called to Peru, they're being called to all of these sacred sites, they're being called to Hawaii to work with kava kava. And because it understands the harmonious balance and it understands, you know, the different frequencies of energy of the roots interconnecting with each other, it actually has a consciousness that is reaching out to us to be able to awaken us from the sleeping that we've been in.
The group is here from Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. And now we're going to do a guided drumming meditation where the drum is the shamanic vehicle. It's the monotonic drumming, synchronizes the brain waves to a theta state, which is a deep relaxation. The way it works is that the classical way of doing this is that they imagine a gate, a door, or a cave, or a hole in a tree into their soul world or into the matrix, and then when I start drumming, they will go through this gate and will, with their questions that they have, will encounter their soul self and other beings to give them their answers for their highest good. Wie es euch angenehm ist, einfach nur entspannen. My name is Lisa Baritz, and my medicine name, part of my medicine name is Rainbow, because I like to connect everybody on the world with everybody. I've traveled in all continents, and the path finally led me to shamanism. It became clearer and clearer. This is really where I want to go, what I want to do. I went through college and I got my degree, and it was good, and I enjoyed what I learned, but it didn't answer the questions. I always thought when I was a teenager, when I'm big, I'm going to get these answers. And the questions were about who am I? What am I here for? What am I going to do with my life? And what defines me as a human being on this earth? The reason so many people are turning to shamanism and ancient healing techniques today is because there is an immense need for it. There is a huge need for healing. We're bombarded with advertisement. Take this pill and you'll be thin. Take this pill and you won't be depressed anymore. You'll be happy. And really what we need to do is connect with nature.
Honestly, I don't know how anyone is surviving right now who doesn't have a spiritual practice, because the world is so like chaotic and fast, and everything's all happening. My name's Melissa. I'm 23 and I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I fell in love with Hawaii when I was here, and I just felt very called to just be here. Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't know why or how, but I just knew I was going to move here. So I bought my one-way ticket, and the rest is history. I mean, I don't know. I was just looking for expansion and growth and fun and adventure. Swimming naked with the dolphins was amazing. It's like they were laughing at us too, because they would look at us and then they would laugh to each other. And they actually, 2 different times I looked them in the eye, and as soon as they looked at me back, they made a funny sound, and they've never talked to me before. So I definitely think that's something to do with being naked.
Dolphins and whales, the way they communicate is they create up to 6 or 7 sounds simultaneously. Clicks and, you know, all kinds of little feeps and peeps, and, you know, you've heard them underwater before. And they create pictorial holograms. Many people receive dreams from dolphins and whales and images because they're literally sending information to us to connect with them at this time on the planet.
They're just holding this vibration for the whole planet.
Yes.
Levels we can't even imagine.
Yes. The humpback whales, when they sing, it's so loud, like a Boeing 747 when it takes off. It's really, really powerful. And they are literally holding the vibration of the earth so that the earth does not collapse within itself.
Behind me is where the whales, the humpback whales, come for mating season. This is a beautiful place to use the crystal bowls and to connect with the sacred sound to bring in the frequencies for our intentions. I had actually gone to the Big Island with a girlfriend. At the time I was working with a shaman, and she expressed how I was very connected to Mother Pele. And I was told that I would receive this gift to sing. I was at the 19.5 grid line, which is on the Big Island of Hawaii. On every 19.5 grid line, there's a volcano. And they call that the heart of the earth. This energy, you know, when I went up there, I fell to the ground. It was really interesting, and I started chanting. And I didn't sing at this point, so I didn't know this was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, I started bleeding on the earth. And it was my first connection, you know, to Mama Pele. And from there, she rebirthed me as a daughter of Pele. Our voice is constantly creating our reality. It's constantly putting out a vibratory field that creates the existence that we want to experience. So we can utilize sound to balance some of the distortions that are coming from the poisons and that are coming from the toxins. So if we want to harmonize that, and we want to come into a place where we fully align with nature and with the higher aspects of ourself in this physical form, we can work with sound, and we can work with sound medicine.
It might be called quantum healing, it might be called Reiki, it might be called Theta healing, but the techniques are old. The techniques are old universal knowledge about being here in a healthy way on this planet. We are nature. We come from the source, and we are sparks of this source, so we also all have the source within us, and we can connect to this universal energy when you do what your soul plan is here meant to do.
It feels so good to plant your own food. You put seeds in, and you know that you're doing something wonderful for the earth and for yourself, and it's really rewarding. You see the power of the earth, that you can make something this small into something nourishing and amazing for you. It's all we need.
It feels very, very good to plant my own food. I love working in the garden. It's like reconnecting with how these people used to live and really understanding where food comes from.
By coming to farmers market, what you actually do is that you are supporting the local economy. And that all the people here at this market, it's really sweet, because the motto is along the lines of from our land or by our hands. So people make these things, they grow these things, they offer these things to people who come here from all over the world and really enjoy what our big island of Hawaii has to offer.
I believe in a new system where people trade, more of a collaborative economy, and they work, exchange, like doing what we're doing, and they trade their goods for other goods. It's where we came, and we came to the monetary system, and I think now we're seeing that it's just not working, and I think we could go back. I don't think I buy as many things like at home. It's very tempting to just go to the mall and just buy stuff and stuff and stuff. And I think I've bought like one clothing item that I actually needed since I've been here, and the rest is just mostly produce from the market.
Yeah, the sustainable way and ethical way, they are so expensive for now that even I can't afford that. You don't have to buy every season, but you have to buy like clothes regularly because, well, you can't really go naked everywhere. So my name is Jolene, and I'm 30 years old, turning 31 in January, so in less than 3 weeks now. I could buy clothes that are made in a more sustainable and ethical way if the price is not like over the roof. So we have to find a way to do that in a proper way and still affordable for more people.
So the fashion industry is moving at a rapid pace. And with all of the changing fashions, we're losing sight of our connection to the environment and the connection to how this is impacting us globally, how it's impacting us sustainably as an earth. Mm-hmm. So working with more sustainable, ergonomic, and conscious clothing, our body and our skin is the biggest organ that we have, and it's breathing and it's living and it's detoxifying. So if we have plastic wrap that's on top of it and we're not allowing it to get the sunlight rays and we're not allowing it to receive, the air and the oxygen, we're actually killing our system.
These companies like to tell people, society, that they shouldn't like who they are and that they need to improve themselves in different ways, whether it's by buying beauty products or buying new clothes. And I feel like the really important thing to remember is that if you don't need all these things to like who you are.
Well, then we cover it over.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. I love Brussels sprouts.
And put your breath. It's called the breath of life.
So much of the city is dependent on the large-scale transportation network that brings food to the stores. And if these people can't get or grow their own food or don't have a way to get it otherwise, what are these people going to do? And where are they going to get their food if they just have to buy it from the grocery store? And kids don't have that exposure to where food really comes from, out of the ground and from animals and so forth. My name's Dave, and I'm 57 years old from Los Angeles. I had a small business out there. I delivered packages and urgent things all throughout Southern California. It was actually the day that David Bowie died in January that I decided there was something missing in my life when he was such an artist that did whatever he wanted. And I thought, why am I not doing that? And I signed up as a gardener, and I wound up cooking a lot more. I just started a job cooking, so as a chef at a facility on the other side of the island, and I'd like to do that more, and I'd like to do more artistic work too. I'm actually cooking now gluten-free and dairy-free, which seems to work out pretty well for me.
Without even realizing it, I've become a fruitarian. I've been eating only fruit and macadamia and peanut butter like every day. I think I need more variety in my diet, honestly. I feel better, I feel more energy, I feel stronger. And even I was just Skyping with a friend back from Ottawa, and she said that my skin looks like it's glowing and my eyes look brighter.
I eat mostly fruits, vegetables, grains, like nut butters and almond milk and stuff like that. I eat vegetarian and try to go vegan when I can. So I eat pretty well. I would always want to have a sustainable life, especially after this experience. I don't think I ever could really go back.
Okay, hungry people.
I definitely was a consumer before, but I believe I've changed now after traveling to Costa Rica and after coming here to Hawaii. Now I could definitely live just off the necessities. My plan is actually to just live out of my backpack as I travel for the next few years at least.
I just discovered that you can have home everywhere. It's not about a place, it's about people you're gonna meet. And if you can connect with people, and you're gonna find new friends and a new family and a new home.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So guys, last day.
It's very weird.
It feels surreal to me.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's happy. It's happy and sad. Like, I'm very happy to go home. But, like, I've lived here for the past 3 months, so this place pretty much feels like home.
Yeah, it's so weird.
You know, I mean, in the community that we've had, God, it's, we get such, at least I've gotten such close connections with some people, and because we're all traveling and we're here on a temporary basis, and you never know if you're going to see somebody again. And, you know, I mean, my heart broke a couple times, you know, with a couple people that may have been interviewed on this film. But yeah, but it's all getting past that fear and just really getting back to living in the moment and just being there and connecting with people, and then whatever happens next. You know, it's all part of a grand design if we're staying on our path. And I'm just really grateful that for everything that we're doing on this, and that I got a chance to, you know, to help interview some of the other people when Grace and Spencer left, and then Logan, and, you know, who's going to interview you?
I'm so grateful that I know that you're making a beautiful movie and that you're usually behind the camera and asking the questions. Mm-hmm. So thank you for agreeing to do this. There was a time that when I asked you to Ho'oponopono, you said, no, I don't want to. And I encouraged you to say the truth. And then you said the truth.
Yes, the first week here was very intense. And I was waking up every night, 3:30 a.m. with thoughts that I don't know where they came from because I didn't even remember before.
Well, and we were mining for them with the flower essences, the deep toxic buried emotions and childhood traumas. So they were, but you chose to do that. And not very many people have that courage. But you were brave.
But I was, for a long time, pushing it to the front. And afraid of it. And now, as a moment in my life that I decided to take a look at it. When I moved to New York, I went to New York to have a new life, but I didn't know where the journey was going to take me, because that was the first step for me to get out of my comfort zone from the place I was living, and I saw that it wasn't the change yet that I needed. And now I'm finding the balance. I'm still on the search for the balance. I think I'm gonna be learning until the day that I'm dead. But my actual moment is learning how to balance my time of rest and work. And I think people need to know there is a way to get out of the machine, of the rat race, and try to have some peace.
No, I'm going to greet some guests. Okay.
Thank you so much for everything.
It's been wonderful knowing you.
Yeah, it's been wonderful being here. This place has become a part of me now.
Okay. This is the dragonfly goodbye. Your soul, forever.